From Remington. What a great name. From Remington. Hey, Andrew, big fan of the show and Another Kingdom. In high school, I really avoided drinking and drugs. I struggled with that decision at times because it often excluded me from certain social events where those kinds of choices were taking place. Sometimes my peers called me uptight because I didn't want to engage in those choices or be around them, and it was very disheartening. I plan on making the same choices, avoiding drinking and drugs, when I go to UNLV this fall, although I would like to hear your thoughts. Am I actually being uptight by avoiding these kinds of choices? Am I missing out on anything by avoiding these choices, or am I making a good call? Thanks for all you do. You know, I grew up in the 60s and 70s, and everybody was taking drugs, and all I would hear from people, and to understand the story, you have to know I wanted to be a writer so bad, I think I would have killed. That is what I wanted. I thought it was the most noble profession. I wanted to live up to the standards of my heroes, who were all novelists and writers. It was so important to be a novelist. And again and again and again, people would say to me, do you think you are going to be a fiction writer if you don't take these drugs? If you don't take LSD, especially, mushrooms especially, and cocaine, how are you going to be a fiction writer? And I used to sit there and I felt bad. I felt bad when they would say that because I wanted so desperately to do what I came to finally do. You know, I wanted it so desperately, but I used to think everything I do as a writer is going to be my imagination engaging with the world in an honest way, and taking drugs is not an honest way of engaging with the world. Plus, I'm afraid it's going to mess up my brain, which is the only thing I have to do this profession with. So I never took them. I smoked dope a couple of times because everybody was, that was just kind of going around, and it clearly wasn't as damaging as the other stuff. I always hated it, by the way. But I never took the drugs, and I felt bad too. I felt excluded too. There were times, I remember times sitting with everyone in a room when everybody was on mushrooms. Everybody, all my friends were on mushrooms, and I wasn't, and feeling just like the wallflower at the party. I'm so glad I did not do that. I cannot tell you. First of all, a lot of my friends who told me these were breakthrough drugs that were going to change the world are dead. That's the first thing. A lot of them, friends, people I really liked, did things like walk out in front of trains or just die of cancers that I'm sure had to do with the fact that they had abused their body so badly. I'm so glad I didn't do it. My mind is still operational. And I drink, and I had to really fight because I love drinking, and I had to cut the booze down, and I had to really fight to do it. That was worthwhile too. Now half the time I don't drink at all. I drink a lot less when I do drink, and I'm so happy I did that. So listen, you're making the right decision. If this is right for you, if this is what you feel is right for you, do not do it. It does not pay off. There's no benefit to it except fitting in, and fitting in is overrated. It really is. Now they're talking about this stuff microdosing, and microdosing LSD. People keep telling me it's a breakthrough, and I just keep saying to them, maybe it is, but all the people who told me cocaine was a breakthrough are dead. All the people who told me LSD is a breakthrough are now a lot stupider than they needed to be. You're not making the wrong decision. You're making the right decision. And all I can tell you is I've been there. I know what it's like to feel when everybody's doing it and they want you to do it too. Don't listen to them. Believe me, you'll be happier later on.